Hello, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get this all nice and situated. Ooh, it is nice and zoomed in. We love that, but I might raise it a little bit later on. Let's see what we got. Let's just see if I pull out an A2 size piece of paper. Oh, you can still see all of it, so we're good. All right. If you are stopping by, drop a quick comment just to say hello. I am going to go ahead and try and get this all situated with my tablet, but y'all know my tablet's been on the struggle bus lately, so bear with me. Let's see if I do a little. Trying to just adjust, make little adjustments. Hello, Beth. Hope you're having a good night. And we've got Patsy, hello, and Karen and Chris. Hope you all are having a fantastic Wednesday evening. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Carrie. My screen is already freezing up on me. Oh, this is so much fun. That's okay. We're going to be just fine tonight, I promise. But I can still see everyone's comments. That's kind of the most important part. So, all right. We're going to give it another second or so just to let people trickle in. And then, my goodness, you guys get me for 2 lives in a row with 2 new products that were not on the Kindred Stamps website. But this one will be available very, very soon. So I promise. Let me go ahead. Let me see if I can pull my laptop up at least. I don't know why it's giving me such a hard time to watch my own Facebook Lives. It's a little strange. That's okay. That is A-okay. At least that way I'll be able to monitor comments. Oh, Chris, don't worry. I'm going to get to the new product soon, so you will see it very, very quickly. Okay, so last night I gave you guys a little bit of a teaser that we would be doing something tonight for our Facebook Live that would involve a new Kindred Stamps product. And then I had to tease you a little bit more. And I put a poll in the fan club earlier today. And my poll asked if you guys thought that it was going to be a stamp, a stencil, or a die set. And I'm just wanting to look, see if I can find, here we go. Here we go with the results. So I'm looking right now, I posted this 10 hours ago. We collected, saying 58 votes. The majority, about 2/3 of everybody, thought that I would be introducing a new spooky stamp set tonight. We've got 14% thought it would be a new stencil, so stencils in last place. And not very far behind stencils, people thought, about 18% of people thought that it would be a new die set. So, I'm here to let you know it is not a stencil. So you can eliminate that. So the least popular option is not happening tonight. But it's also not the most popular option as well. So I'm not introducing a new stamp set tonight. I did a new stamp set the last time I did a Facebook Live. But we have a new die set to introduce, and it's a new border die. So we have the brand new Spooky Village die set that is going to be put into the website store later on tonight. So you guys are going to have an opportunity to grab the brand new die set. And I'm going to show a little bit of crafty inspiration tonight with this set and how it works really well with the Spooky Citizen stamp set. Let's be honest though, we have a lot of spooky stamp sets on the Kindred Stamps website that this is going to work just perfectly with. It's going to be great for Halloween purposes. It's a very sort of whimsical, sort of wonky design. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this product. And I'm going to show you some ways that you could use it. So, as always, we're going to get into a little bit of coloring first. So let me see if I can pull up the live, because I switched over to, what was it? I switched over to the results of the poll. And all right, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna do a little bit of coloring, and we're gonna use the mayor image from this Spooky Citizen stamp set. So let's go ahead and get them all colored up. Now, their face is kind of orange, but you know what? I feel like I need a little bit darker than that. So let's see what I can grab. Let's go in with, that was E97. We're gonna go in with some E99, which is baked clay, just to kind of add little bits of shadow. But he's got a very sort of peachy face. And it's weird that for something peachy, that such a brown color is gonna act as a shadow, but it does. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna add that in. And then we're gonna go in with some E97. Get this all added in. It's gonna get very light pretty quickly because I'm just kind of doing this lightly. Do this down here, just like that. All right, next let's move on. We're gonna do some E95, and this is really when you start to get those peachy tones. Oh, I forgot to do his hands, that's okay. So we're just gonna kind of go in, just like that. You know, let's just add this to his hands now. It'll be fine if I don't go back with the other color until this next round. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go in with some E93, which is really gonna lighten things up. Kind of gonna go around his mouth. Actually, we're gonna go over his eye because that swirl is just the black swirl. All right. Just like that. He's a little on the smaller side, so you kind of got to be a little careful with your markers. So let's go back in. We're gonna use some E99. Start adding that shadow under his hat. Just like that. All right. Oop, we got a little bit of a jumper. And then we're gonna go in with our E97 and just start to build things out a little bit. Let's see if I'm missing any comments. Hello, Leanne. Now, if you guys stick around towards later, I do have a promo code for you as well to snag some of the products that I'm using during tonight's live at a discount. And evidently we will not say her name, wants me to know I had a package delivered. All right, we're going with some E95. Realistically, I probably could have made his skin tone a little lighter, but this is fine. Honestly, this is A-okay with me. He's not supposed to look realistic, you know? All right, let's go in and do some of his teeth. So we're gonna go in with some C4. Just gonna go ahead and add the C4 like that. And I'm gonna go right in with some C00. As well, just to kind of add a little bit of shading. And then let's go in with some W8. that. And some W6. This will give a nice sort of look to that. All right, let's see. We are getting there. So now let's start with some coloring of the garment. So I'm going to start with some W8, and we're going to color up this strap, this band on his hat. We're also going to color up this lapel area of his jacket. And then let's do his pants. Just like that. And then the shoes. Like that. All right. And let's do this side of his hat as well. Now we're also going to color in a little bit of that circle around his eye, but we'll get to the rest of it in a second. So next, let's go in color in the band of his hat, but we're also going to use this as the shadow tone for the rest of his garment. So we're going to go in and a little bit of shadow, and then under the lapel area. All right. And a little bit of shadow to his pants and his shoes, just like there. Wonderful. All right. Next, we're going to use some W4. Let's see if I could restart this a little bit. Nope, that's not restarting it. I don't know why my iPad and my computer are giving me such a hard time with Facebook Lives lately. It has not made it very fun, but that's okay. If anyone has any questions or comments, just let me know and I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. Always like helping if you've got any questions or concerns. Because his coat is a little on the lighter gray side, but his pants and his shoes are darker. So we're just gonna kind of run with that the best that we can. And over there. Wonderful. Okay. Now we're gonna use the last color for all the areas that are still white, which is W2. But of course, we will color this up a second time to get a good saturation going. When I say saturation, I just mean a way to really deepen the colors and also get a good blend of them. Because when you're working with your Copics, you're gonna get the best results when your paper is already wet or saturated with ink to a certain extent. So that's why I like to color them twice. The first time sort of lays out all of where I want my colors to go and wets the paper. And then the second time allows me to really saturate those colors and get those blends going. All right. Perfect. All right, let's go in and do this again. So we're gonna go in with some W8. Perfect. Now let's go on with some W6. Probably going with some gel pen just to do a little bit of correction afterwards, which is totally okay. A handmade card is never meant to be perfect. So never sweat if you color outside the lines or you get a smudge. There's always some way to salvage your work. May not be exactly what you had in mind, but there's always a way. And having a white gel pen handy is a really great way to make sure that any possible mistakes that you might be making, or imperfections we'll call them, I don't like mistakes, can be fixed rather simply. Band of his hat is all done. And the lapel of his coat, all completed. And then finish off his pants. See, those colors are really starting to blend together nicely. They look less splotchy, which is what I'm going for. Perfect. All right. And now last color is W2. And I'll check comments when I'm done with this marker. In case I missed anything, see, I say that though, and sometimes there are no comments. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. Then we keep going. I have to color in part of his nose too, so we'll do that and then I'll check comments. Perfect. Let's go in with some W6 and just make sure his nose is dark. Wonderful. All right, we're getting there. Let's see if I'm missing any comments. Yes, Kathy, I did. There's a new Spooky Village border die that I'm going to be using shortly. So I will show that off in a little bit, and it will be available in the Kindred Stamps website soon. All right, let me see now. What do I want to do next? Let's work on his shirt. I'm going to go ahead and color this little spider with some W6. Finish with some W4. Perfect. And then I'm going to go in with the same colors I used on his teeth. So this is some C4. Just right there. And then, well, a little similar to the teeth, but not exactly. Do some C2. And then finish with some C00. Awesome. We're not going to do, I don't like doing my whites twice because I don't like them getting too saturated. And then we're going to finish off with the little badge that he's got. So we're going to do, this is YR18. Do it on the edges of this little ribbon badge. Like that. And then we're going to move on to some YR68. And YR65. Da, da, da. Get this all cute and colored. repeat these colors, doing YR1E. And then we'll just skip right ahead to YR65. Wonderful. All right. So now let me go in with a gel pen and just start cleaning up my edges. I use a number 10 Sakura Jelly Roll pen just to get all my edges nice and clean. And just kind of go in and just add a little bit wherever it might be a little out of the line. Let's see, down there, over here. That's pretty good. All right. So I'm just gonna kind of wave it off a little bit. And I gotta grab the coordinating dies because we do wanna go ahead and cut him out. So I'm gonna grab some low tack mint tape. Put my outline die over him. I love that we've been doing the outline dies lately. They've been making the no fussy cutting situation just wonderful. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, let me get my die cutting machine out. I'm gonna do that off to the side though, just because I don't want it to take up too much of my center space. I'm gonna go ahead, where is this missing part of my sandwich, but I've got it. And he is all perfectly cut out. Sorry about the loud noise. All right, so we've got our guy all situated. I'm glad that Christian likes it too. Who else? Let me see what I'm missing for comments. I see a couple. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. You're so sweet. I appreciate the kind words. I have a scan and cut as well, Christian. But no, I don't, unfortunately, I don't use it as much as I probably should. It kind of collects dust. But it is nice that you don't have to lug out a scan and cut to cut out your images. But I did have an idea. I have to show you guys because I am going to be using the Spooky Town paper pack. And I had an idea using a scan and cut. And I don't think this violates any sort of Kindred rules because it's just using your pattern paper. But I feel like this might not work as well as I thought it would because I noticed there were little details in the images. But if you open up your Holiday Town paper pack, okay, this pattern, sometimes I wonder if you would be able to put it under your scan and cut and just cut out a bunch of these. I don't know if it would work because there's little stars and you might have to spend some time removing them and some of them coincide with like the actual border of the image. But I thought that would be a really cool way because then you could have like a bunch of little colored up images that you could use. But like I said, I don't know if that would actually work, but it was a thought that I had earlier today. Anyways, so we've got our little mayor man all colored up. And now why don't we go ahead and work on our die cutting and our background. So like I showed y'all earlier, we're gonna be using the Spooky Village border die, and I do already have some of it colored up. And I just realized I didn't grab a single ink blender. That's okay. So we're gonna do my greens and my black, and then this black one. Awesome. Got them all real quick. Love that journey for me. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is using my Black Soot Distress Oxide ink, I'm gonna just go in and I'm gonna ink blend the bottom of this die cut because I wanna give some shading to these buildings. And I like to start with oxide inks for my shading because they blend the smoothest. They don't give you the darkest distress ink, but when it comes to blending and building up color, the oxides are the best in my opinion. So this is black soot. We're just kind of building it up, just like that. But one thing that I also like to do, so I'm sitting here and I'm saying the oxide inks don't have that like darkness or that saturation. I then kind of like to hit it with some distressing. So I'm going to use that same black soot color and just kind of go in to the bottom. And that's going to make the bottom of this die cut darker. I just thought it would be fun. All right, so we've got that going. And then we're gonna also, let's see, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? You know what we are gonna do? We're gonna wipe up some ink. So let me grab my distress bottle. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna ink smush. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna take my black soot distress ink, smush it down. Oh, my black soot distress ink could use some revitalization. We're gonna wet it, and then just kind of get some splatters going. Add a little bit of messiness, unpredictability, just like that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that over to dry. Wipe that up, just like that. All right. Now I can also grab my heat tool and just kind of begin drying it. So I'm just gonna kind of let these dry. When they dry, they're gonna be a lot lighter, but you're still gonna get a speckliness to it, which is great. See, it really dries it up, but that's totally okay because I also wanna just splatter it with some sparkle silk. And that's just gonna add some nice sort of clear, I gotta shake this a little better, sparkle splatters. Y'all know I use that often. So let me pull this up a little closer so you can see it. See all that little splatteriness? It's a lot of fun. So we're gonna set that off to dry. And then why don't we work on building up our background? So what we're gonna go ahead and do is I've got a background piece that I've die cut. This is blending, and this is not die cut, this is hand cut. And this is not hand cut, this is like guillotine cut. So that's what I actually mean. But this is, I wanna say this is 4 3/4. Yes, it's 4 3/4 by 5 inches. And this is gonna be our background piece. And I decided I wanted my sky to be green. So I'm gonna go in and, well, I'm gonna check comments. Nope, we're good to go. I'm gonna go in with some Twisted Citron. And this is gonna be our base. I just want this to be a nice, healthy chunk. Like that. Just like that. And then I'm gonna go in with some mowed lawn. Right next to the Twisted Citron. Then of course I'm gonna take my Twisted Citron and blend the mowed lawn into it to work on that nice blend. Let me see, I wonder if I should add a little more. All right, we're getting somewhere. So next, so we've got our mowed lawn, and now we're gonna go in with some Rustic Wilderness. And we're just gonna, it's gonna really start to darken things. So I'm gonna go in with that. I'm also gonna grab my mowed lawn tool. Bring that in as well. All right, we are getting there with this blend. Could be a little better, I think. Let me see. I need an acrylic block. I like to use an acrylic block so that it protects my paper and my fingers from any sort of fingerprints or getting my fingers too dirty. All right, next, I want to take some black soot. Move those out of the way. This is the black soot Distress Oxide ink. I'm gonna do that right on top, just like this. Blend it into that Rustic Wilderness. Grab my Rustic Wilderness blending tool, just like that. All right, let me see, maybe I can grab a little bit more of that. Awesome. And then, like I had said, what I did with the Distress ink, I am going to incorporate some black soot Distress ink just to darken up that top edge. Darken that up. Let's see. Just like that. You might as well take a little Rustic Wilderness as well. All right, so we've got this sky, and I think this is going to be really fun and spooky. So let's work on distressing it. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my spray bottle, put some water to get some nice bleach marks. Awesome. I'm gonna let it sit for about, 20, 30 seconds. It is a spooky city sky, sort of, you know? Thank you so much, Alyssa. I love it too. I love those colors. I think it was gonna just work really well for like spookiness. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's pick this up. We've got some great bleach marks. And let's do some sparkle silk as well. Why not? And why don't we do a little bit of splattering too? We'll do some black soot. Just a little bit of water, not too much. Maybe a little more water. There we go. Oh, phooey, Justin. You need a little bit more water to get it to move around the way you want it to. There we go. Look at that. I'm doing a little extra splattering too because it's spooky. Make it a little grungy, you know? The other thing that's nice about these ink splatterings, so my background looked a lot less perfect. It's not perfect. It's still not perfect, but it looked less perfect than it does now before I started with the ink splattering. That's because I believe in the power of distraction when it comes to your crafting. So if you're working with a background and you're blending it up, it does you so much good to add some water if you're using a reactive ink to get those bleach marks. Splatter on top of it, build up a background, because it's just gonna help cover up any of those imperfections and just make it look so much more intentional So keep that in mind when you craft. That's one of my go-to tips. All right, I'm gonna wipe this up, put these off to the side. Now, another thing that I wanted to do, because I thought it would be, I'm just knocking everything over. So you see how there's all of these little cutouts, and if I put it on top, totally fine. The cutouts would show green. But I thought it would be cool if they showed yellow. So I have a piece of yellow cardstock, and I just want to go ahead and just cut some strips and sort of cover this up. So I'll show you what I mean. I've got come on, Misty. See, this was working earlier. Now it don't want to work on me. There we go. All right, so like I put a little bit of glue there, and then I can put this yellow bit over and cover it up. And that way, well, we'll do all three first, then you'll see what I mean. So if I just kind of cut some strips, like for example, if I do like that, and this does not look pretty, trust me, but you'll see it in a second when I flip it over, that it doesn't matter how it looks on the back. And then we'll do just around there. And I can just kind of cover it up. And then it looks like little lit up windows and doors. So even though it doesn't look pretty at all on the back, you're not going to notice it. You could just flip it over and there you go. So that was kind of my idea with that. Christian says, oh, Carrie, thank you so much. You know what? This glue dispenser honestly is quite nice. I really don't have that many complaints. I already accidentally broke one of the nozzles on it, but they're replaceable and it was due to my own error, and I probably should have watched a video or two before I got to work with it because it was just kind of a simple mistake that I had made. Let's see. I know a bunch of retailers just got this press back in stock like a couple days ago. So now is a good time to snag it because it's been out of stock for a little bit. Kind of shove that over. Let's see. Yep. Just kind of put a very small amount of glue around just to hold these little pieces in place. You don't need too much. See, and now we've got a second building. Next, we're gonna do, I could probably cut a new piece. This should be a little thicker. Okay. So let's do, I know this is a little tedious, but it's a great way to stretch the use of your die. What liquid glue do you use? Carrie, this is, I want to say this is Nuvo glue. It just came with my glue press. It's not what I typically use. Oh, this one's going to be a little difficult. What I typically use is Ultra Bond adhesive, which is from Thermoweb. It's iCraft, which is Thermoweb. So that's my usual. Oh, that's actually cut pretty well the size. But I know a lot of people speak very highly of like Barely Arts glue. That's a lot of people's go-to. like that. And then, ooh, down to like our last two pieces. Let's see. This needs to be a little thicker. That needs to be a little thinner, but that's okay. We're working. Just like that. All right. And then go ahead and add in this little window, and then we should be kind of good to go. I'm gonna check and see after this, see if my background's dry, and then we could just sort of adhere things together, because that's what I'm going for. Let's see. See, like I said, ugly on the back, pretty in the front. There we go. Let's see. I think I need to, I feel, let's see. I think that's dry. And my thought is to just have this go along the bottom. Like, that's actually really cool. I like that a lot. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get this adhered down. So I am going to do like a glitter paper frame around it as well. Hopefully. But I don't know what color I want to use. I was going to do orange, but I'm almost wondering if green might just work better. I don't know. So let's line this all up. Just like this. All right. And then we can go ahead, make sure it's all lined up. All right, just like that. All right. Now we've got our background piece. Now I want your opinion. So I don't want to, I appreciate it, Rebecca. I don't want purple. I want to stick with oranges and green. So I was thinking of, and there's nothing wrong with purple. It's just not the mood I'm in tonight. So this is the Holiday Town paper pack, and I wanted to do it like this. And I had some orange glitter paper, but I'm almost wondering, let me show you guys. I've also got this green glitter paper. Now that I hold it up, though, I think the orange is going to work better. Because I think the green is just going to blend in too much. Black glitter would be pretty. Christian, I don't know if I have black glitter. I think I'm going to go with orange since it's cut. I don't think I have black glitter paper. That would be a really good idea. But I am going to get that pop of black from the background. So, okay. But I could also, like, offset it if I wanted to. Oh, I like that. But I would still want this to be straight on because I have to still heat emboss my sentiment. That would be pretty if I kind of did, like, an offset like that and then put this on top. Just kind of like a fun layering look. I like that. Don't hide all that glitter. So maybe I'll make it a little bit more staggered then. I know, I have more paper. I could really die cut something out from this to save it, but I just want to kind of cover it for the sake of this project. I have enough paper. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere this down. But then I got to do a little bit of heat embossing with the other bit. So we'll get to that in a second. All right, and then this is from the Holiday Town paper pack. All right, let's do like, oh, I like that. Okay, I like how this looks. Just like that. And then we're gonna lean this on top like that. Yes, because that makes it look a little wonky, a little imperfect. And then I'm gonna do a sentiment right on top. So let me grab my Misty. We can work on that. Oh, well, at least we don't have any casualties. All right, so let's go in, clean up my space just a little bit. And we're gonna go in and we're gonna put the panel like right there. And then I'm gonna grab our stamp set. And there's only one sentiment, but it's perfect for this guy that just says, put on a happy face. So we're just gonna kind of center it the best that we can. Yeah, maybe let's put it over there, because that helps me kind of map it out a little bit. Realistically, I could put it down here too. No, but I want it up here. Yeah, let's do it up there. Just make sure that it looks nice and centered. Should be at the 2.5. Yeah, that's about it. Is that where I want it? See, now I'm second guessing where I want my sentiment. Do I hot foil? I could, let me see. Can you hot foil on glitter paper? Bo, I'm going to go off of my instincts and I'm going to say probably not, because I know, now see, now I'm getting distracted. That's not Bo's fault. That's Justin's fault. Because the best sort of hot foil transfers are onto smooth paper, and the paper I'm using right now has a little bit of a texture to it, so I don't really know if it would work well. You know what though? Try it. Just the only thing though is I know some glitters may include some plastics on them, and using them with the hot foil, I don't know if that's going to promote any sort of melting. So I would say use it with caution. Maybe use it. I don't want to accuse any of your crafting products to be not worthy, but if you maybe have a hot foil product that you're not going to be 100% upset with if it has to get thrown out, maybe try it that way. But I don't, now that I'm thinking about glitter paper may containing some sort of a plastic, I don't think it's going to work that well. All right, back to the card. But it's a good question. I would say any sort of product that you think may have some sort of plastic or melty component is probably not a good, safe choice. Oh my gosh, could you imagine like using your hot foil machine and all of a sudden you have like a hot foil mess just, or like a melty mess just going on? Ain't nobody want that. You know what I do want is I do want my ink pad. Where is my embossing ink pad? I know I grabbed it. What the heck, man? Did I grab it? See, now I second guess myself. I thought I did though. That's a new pad. We don't want to open a new one. See, okay. We're gonna take a quick break to realize. There it is. I was gonna say where Justin put his embossing ink pad. We found it. Ooh, this die cut would also be really pretty if you did if you smudged an embossing powder or embossing pad on top of it and then did like a clear glitter embossing powder to make it nice and sparkly. That would be cool. I approve. I love smushing for embossing. All right. Okay. See, I just keep dropping things. Hot Mess Hot Foil. There we go. Yeah, you know what I did? Let me see if I have any. I have tried before, though. I have a box of backgrounds, and I was trying our Kindred Stamps paper, and I've tried hot foiling on that before. Let me see if I can find an example. Yes, it kind of works. So here's something you could try, Bo, I tried hot foiling on top of, this is our, I think it's called Marion Bright paper pack. And I was able to do some hot foiling. It looks decent. It's not perfect though. I think it's because there's a little bit of texture to the paper, but you can hot foil on top of pattern paper and that could be a cool effect. So something to keep in mind. I also think, oh, you know what? Maybe this was perfect and I sprayed it with some sort of white ink spray. That might be the texture I'm feeling. Let me see, do I have any other ones? I've been trying to keep a box of backgrounds on my desk. Just like I've got like our crowned plaid, I've got a background of that ready to go if I need it. Oh, I also have, sorry, this is totally distracting. This is our layered candy stencil. I've got a card front with that. Ooh, and I have an extra one of my bandana backgrounds. Now I'm just getting distracted because I'm like, ooh, crafty fun. What else do I got? Sorry, I know that we're Facebook Live crafting right now, but I figured might as well talk about it while I'm here. I don't think I have another one. I could have sworn I had a pink one though. All right. But I do have some pretty Kindred Stamps ones. This is the old Moons and Stars on top of the Whimsical Garden stencil. This is, oh, I forget what the name of this was, but this came out when we had the Magical House release. Just lots of fun. Oh, here it is. I do have a pink one that I didn't splatter. Okay, this works. There you go. See, it works. LOL squirrel. Okay, I'm so sorry. But hey, we're all crafters. We like to know these things, you know. I actually have one more that I'm going to show you guys that I think is really pretty, but it's a retired stencil. But see? Okay, so you can hot foil on top of pattern paper is what I'm trying to say. The bandana stencil is really a fun one. But I do have, this is a retired one. I don't know when it's coming back, but just know you can do this with any of your stencils. So this was our stained glass rose stencil that I believe got retired. But I went over it and I like individually inked the different flowers and the leaves the best that I could. And then keeping the stencil in place, I went over it with a iridescent glitter gel. And I just am ready to put this on a card. I don't know what I want to do with it, but isn't it? I know I'm tooting my own horn. It's just very pretty. So I'm like excited to use this one as well. It'd be perfect with like a nice bold sentiment. Ugh. Okay, we're getting back to our card. So, you're very right, Christian. It was very much a squirrel moment. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wipe this off. And then, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just allowed myself to get that distracted. That hasn't happened to me in probably a good hour or so. Okay, so let me adhere this to my background. Is that how I want it? Not your fault at all, Bo. Not your fault at all. All right, let's see. Just kind of shuffle this into place. Try to keep it in a good position. I think that's about where we want it. All right, let me see. I need to get some sort of a large acrylic block just to hold this down. There we go. Just like that. And we're gonna put that off to the side. And then let's do some foam tape on the back of our mayor. Let's see. Oh, that should be a little thinner. Just like this. What am I allowed to talk about? Hi, Becky. I can talk about it for a hot second. It's a Misty Precision Glue Press. It works well. I don't really have any complaints. I would just advise trying to find like a tutorial video on recommendations for how to use it in advance, because there are some precision nozzles that it comes with that you just want to make sure that you're using appropriately and you don't accidentally clog them and break it like I do. So that happened to me, but it's not an issue with the product. It was an issue, a user issue on my end. So that's what I would recommend. All right, so we put on a happy face. Put this guy down here. I'll make sure to link it when I share the video, though. No problem. No problem at all. All right, we're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. I just feel like I could do a little more glue, just like right there. Let's do some enamel dots. What do I got? We'll do some of these ones. I'm just gonna grab some glitter dots from my stash. Let's see, we'll do like orange, green, and gray. Just like that. And then you know what? I don't want to use that one. We're going to put you back. Now it's stuck. No, I don't want you down here. There we go. Put you back. We're going to use the green one right there. And then we'll do like an orange one right there. Is that what I want? We'll do like a gray. And a green. Just for a little bit of interest. All right, how about we make a quick card base and call it a day? So let me see. I'm gonna grab some card base paper. And I'm going to grab my scoreboard. And we're going to go ahead, just make an HU card base. And then I also have a promo code to share with y'all. And I had it all written out. Now I don't know where I put it, but don't worry. We will get the promo code. So let's go ahead. I've got a smudge, so that means we're going to cover up this side. Just like that. All right. So there we go. I found it. So let's go over what we used, and then I'll give you guys the promo code that I have on hand. So we went ahead and used the new Spooky Village border die. That is going to be available for purchase. I believe Audra is going to put it in the shop tonight, if I'm not mistaken. We used it with the Spooky Citizen stamp set. This is the mayor that comes with the set. We also used, this is the Holiday Town paper pack for the background. I used some Snowfall embossing powder for our sentiment that says put on a happy face. And I just think this is a really fun card. Just like fun, spooky, little whimsical. I love it. And I love the little background pieces for all the windows and doors. So I did go ahead and write down tonight's promo code of Spooky15. This is going to get you, I believe, a discount on the Holiday Town paper, the Spooky Citizen stamp set, along with this new border die as well. I don't believe it's going to work on any of the other products, but if you want to snag it, use that Spooky 15, and that should be ready to go, I think sometime tonight. If there's a delay, I can do a post and let you guys know. But we've got everything all situated, so thank you all so much for being here tonight. I'm sorry for my squirrel moment, but it's always kind of fun to see what people have sitting around in their craft stash and what they can show you and what they've been working on. So I was glad that I had a moment to do that with y'all. I will make sure to get this replay uploaded onto my YouTube channel for future viewing and get this into the fan club as soon as I can. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. But otherwise, this was my last live for January. And of course, I'll be back next month with more. Last item that I wanted to remind you guys before I thank y'all for being here once again. The January release is coming up next week. So a week from Friday, we do have a brand new release heading your way. I know there are a handful of new stamp sets coming your way, maybe even a surprise or two. So just keep your eyes out. I know that the event will get created closer to the weekend, probably on Saturday or Sunday. Make sure to join so you keep up to date with all of the release happenings. Audra is always so generous and always does at least one, if not a couple, giveaways that you could snag yourself some Kindred credit that'll go towards your next online shopping spree. And let's be honest, the next one is going to be when the next release posts because that's how I work, you know. Anyways, let's go through. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Becky and Lisa and Christian. Thank you, Carrie and Alyssa and Bo and Patsy and Karen. You guys are all so sweet. Thank you, Leanne. This was wonderful. This was a wonderful Facebook Live. I'm so glad that we had fun tonight. I'm glad to introduce and sneak another cool new product with y'all. And it's been a blast. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday night, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.